Well, hello anglers, and it's Jim from Match the Hatch Fishing. It's been some time since I've recorded, and I'm here on the Patuxent River with my friend MacGyver Mike, who's probably over my shoulder there somewhere. And we've hiked in quite a ways. It's a Friday afternoon. Of course, I took the wrong path. And we've got some really great water in front of us. We're chasing after stocked brown trout, and optimistic that we're going to be able to find a few. And so to that end, some really great turns here. It looks very, very inviting. I'm going to ease my way across. I'm using a G Loomis IMX Pro 4-weight today. I brought my shorter rod, knowing that some of these areas like that, I'll leave that for Mike, are tight. And I've used this rod, I want to say once or twice before. Shorter, limber, 7'9", and I have an inexpensive Lamson reel. I forget which one they call this. It's the least expensive one they make. It's light and it's certainly suitable. I've got a double nymph rig on here with a kind of like a waltz worm up top and bead head underneath it. They're both about size 16-ish. So that run there looks good. Let me see if I get myself in position here, and that's about where I want to be. Four weight's a little different than the 5, but I shall adapt. And there he is, first cast. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Nice little stocked brown trout. Happy to have him. And if I'm not mistaken, my fly is out of his mouth. Pretty little fish. He was sitting right in there. I'm going to switch from when I walked down this path, which I took the wrong way. I turned about a 25-minute hike and a 45 from MacGyver Mike and I, and so I wanted my net on my back, but I've come up with a different approach for my net. I've complained in so many videos about the net and not being able to get on the back, so I have this side holster I use. So I'm going to immediately change over to that. If I'm hiking and the net's on my side, I've already torn it once. So, all right. Might have to make it a little more shallow. All right. Beautiful little trout. Look at him. He's pretty. I'm using barbless today. There he goes. I keep looking up here because MacGyver Mike's above me, and there are two really big holes up there I've left for him, and he should be able to do well in there. So Mike and I have come down to another section that should be really fishy. And real curious here to see if we have any critters here. So let's see. So we got all sorts of bugs right here. They should come on the GoPro. I think these are stoneflies or caddisflies all over. So that's what these fish eat. And you can see these little guys. So they're dark color. Now I have a light color fly on the bottom, and I'm match the hatch fishing. So I will take a few casts just because it's tied on, and then I'll change to something that looks like those flies. That's what these fish eat. I got a good one. Oh, geez, I pulled the hook. Pulled the hook. That was a good fish. Son of a gun. He rose. I threw right back where he was. Rats. I always check my flies when that happens. Well, it's called fishing, not catching, right? Let's see if we can. He's not gonna bite, but his buddy might bite. Oh, fish rose again for the strike indicator. And they're in there. I am in the same area where I had two fish rise on my strike indicator, and then I pulled the hook after about 5 seconds on a good one. So what I've done here is I've put a stonefly imitation on my bottom. I want to say that's about a 16, and then up top I have a general bead head just tied off the shank 5X. Let me see if I show you. So I like this color a lot here in this Patuxent. Orange hot spot and some green and black. So it generally just looks buggy, and when we turned over a rock we saw dark flies, and so I'm thinking that that stonefly underneath is gonna be important here. Just mend right away. This fly should sink. Let's get a bite right there. Boy, I know where I want to be. Where'd it go? Oh, jeez. God, I'm having a hard look. I'm just dragging. There he is. There we go. Woo! Finally. Been messing. Every time I step in the water, I silt it up, so I'm doing my best to stay out of the water. He ate the stonefly on the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on him here. Rainbow. It ate the top one. Okay. If I don't have to handle the fish, I can just snap that fly out. And again, I don't want to be in the water because I've silted up every time I've done that. So, well, I found where I need to cast. The fish are sitting just on the edge of that current on the other side of that rock. MacGyver Mike and I are still at it. Mike's taking a rest right there. I've got a thin mint woolly bugger on. It's got all the primary colors for a fish: green, black, brown, and I know there's a whole lot more in here than I've put a hook in. So I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ease my way up here. Every time I step in the water, all I do is create silt. The wind. And I guess I'll work this section. I had one bump. See if I can get one at the top of the run. Great, hung up on my watch. They are in here. All right, turn it off. Walked upstream, just dabbed my fly on this nice brown. Just took it immediately. Sweet. Pretty fish. The bug's just about out of his mouth. Do I have him caught up in the fishing line? I do not. There he is. Nice one, huh? He was just sitting right in there. Well, I believe this is the wrong species. I'm not sure yet. So, this is not a fall fish. This is a threadfin, I believe, or what's called a gizzard shad. And there he goes back in. So we've seen, that's the second one of those I've seen here. It's clearly not a fall fish. It's oily, loose scales, has spots, so that's some type of shad. I think it's called a gizzard or a threadfin shad. I wonder if the trout would eat those. Anglers, we had a good day here on the Patuxent River. Caught them on nymphs exclusively. Streamer bite didn't work. Hope you learned something. I had a good time, and I hope you had a good time as well. So wherever you may fish, anglers, this is Jim from Match the Hatch Fishing and Tight Lines.